welcome to Tales of Honor Podcast, a podcast dedicated to telling the true stories of the Congressional Medal of Honor. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Tales of Honor Podcast. I'm your host, Christoph Ambrosch, and today's episode is episode 55. 55. We're cruising right along. World War II is where we're headed once again, to the South Pacific. And it's being brought to you by my good friend down in Florida. Florida? I think I was saying that correctly. Florida? I don't know if that's right. But I do know what's right is DesignCake Studios. Look, they're a creative design company with big talent in graphic and web design. If you or your business need a look or maybe a new one, head on over to DesignCakeStudios.com. Look, I'm not going to beat around the bush. You know I did it. I know that I did it. And am I happy? You betcha. You betcha I'm happy. I just got a new batch of business cards, and I love them. And I always get compliments on my cards and my logos. So if you want that and you decide to contact them, let them know that you heard about them here on the podcast. Because if you do that, you'll get a free consultation. It's just a nice way to say thank you. DesignCake Studios. Fresh thinking made bold. And now, a tale of honor. Franklin E Sigler was born on the 6th of November, 1924, in Glen Ridge, New Jersey, with 4 brothers and 1 sister. Early in his childhood, his family had moved to Little Falls, New Jersey, and it was here that he would graduate from Little Falls High School. All of Franklin's brothers had served in the U.S. military, and on the 23rd of March, 1943, Franklin joined the U.S. Marine Corps and attended recruit training at Parris Island, South Carolina. After being stationed at the Navy Yard in South Carolina, Franklin was assigned to Company F, 2nd Battalion, 26th Marine Regiment, 5th Marine Division in April of 1944, and 3 months later was on the USS Clay en route to Hawaii. They didn't stay in Hawaii long before they were deployed to the South Pacific to support the Battle of Iwo Jima. It was here that Franklin's actions would earn him the Medal of Honor. The citation reads, "For conspicuous gallantry and intrepidity at the risk of his life above and beyond the call of duty while serving with the 2nd Battalion, 26th Marines, 5th Marine Division, in action against enemy Japanese forces during the seizure of Iwo Jima in the Volcano Islands on 14 March 1945. Voluntarily taking command of his rifle squad when the leader became a casualty, Private Sigler fearlessly led a bold charge against an enemy gun installation which had held up the advance of his company for several days and, reaching the position in advance of the others, assailed the emplacement with hand grenades and personally annihilated the entire crew. As additional Japanese troops opened fire from concealed tunnels and caves above, he quickly scaled the rocks leading to the attacking guns, surprised the enemy with a furious one-man assault, and although severely wounded in the encounter, deliberately crawled back to his squad position, where he steadfastly refused evacuation, persistently directing heavy machine gun and rocket barrages on the Japanese cave entrances. Undaunted by the merciless rain of hostile fire during the intensified action, he gallantly disregarded his own painful wounds to aid casualties, carrying 3 wounded squad members to safety behind the lines and returning to continue the battle with renewed determination until the order to retire for medical treatment. Stout-hearted and indomitable in the face of extreme peril, Private Sigler, by his alert initiative, unfaltering leadership, and daring tactics in critical situation, effected the release of his besieged company from enemy fire and contributed essentially to its further advance against a savagely fighting enemy. His superb valor, resolute fortitude, and heroic spirit of self-sacrifice throughout reflect the highest credit upon Private Sigler and the United States Naval Service. Franklin would receive the Medal of Honor from President Truman on the 5th of October, 1945, during a ceremony at the White House. His wounds would cause disabilities that led for his discharge in June of 1946 as a private first class. Franklin died at the age of 70 on the 20th of January, 1995, and received full military honors when he was buried just a few yards away from his brother, William. Franklin E Sigler is buried in Arlington National Cemetery in Arlington, Virginia, Section 12, Lot 2799. And that was a Tale of Honor. Thank you very much for listening to Tales of Honor podcast. If you like this podcast, which I know you do, please be sure to leave a nice review, a good rating, and tell a friend, tell your family. Gather them all around Christmas time and make sure they hear some of these great stories, or all of them. Make them sit down and listen to every episode. You can do it. I know you can. I have faith in you. You can see more information on Facebook, Instagram, and at talesofhonorpodcast.com. If you have any questions or comments, you can send them to talesofhonorpodcast@gmail.com. And until next time, I'm Christoph Ambrose. Thanks for listening.